Coming up right now on your Marlborough This Week News Update.
I do think it's a big issue. I think it's a big problem.
A drop in the city's free cash total equaled big problems at the recent city council meeting. What President Arthur Vigent has to say about Marlborough's checks and balances. Super Tuesday is coming your way. What you need to know from your city clerk in just minutes. New year, new you. How you can be the best in 2008. Warning her son and demanding answers, a mother is speaking out after her 5-year-old son choked to death on his way home from school. Darnell Cobb was riding the bus Wednesday afternoon when a small tack got caught in his throat. The school bus driver did call 911, but paramedics could not get the tack out. On Thursday morning, the Stevens administration, along with representatives of the Marlborough police and fire stations, called a press conference to speak out about this tragic event.
This is a hard day in the city of Marlborough. Yesterday at approximately 3:30, a medical call came in to our dispatch to the Dunkin' Donuts on Maple Street. At the time, our emergency personnel responded to find a child unconscious on a bus. Our emergency personnel did everything that they could. The child was eventually transported to Marlborough Hospital after being worked on at the scene. And unfortunately, after several hours at Marlborough Hospital, attempts to revive the child were unsuccessful.
We're obviously looking into all aspects of this case, but in speaking with people who are on the bus, it's just, the object got lodged in the child's throat and couldn't be removed.
We deal with these types of situations, many different types of situations on a daily basis. It seems they hit home a lot harder for our guys when it's a youngster. It happens on rare occasions. It's a parent's worst nightmare to ever have anything happen like this. Our people are parents themselves, and I think they directly relate to that.
I'm sure that I can speak for the men and women of our emergency services that this will be with them forever.
Darnell's mother, in an interview with Channel 5's Jack Harper, says she doesn't understand why her son couldn't be saved.
Someone had to be responsible. Something went wrong somewhere. We don't know. But I feel in my heart that something went wrong somewhere. This kid was not supposed to die over time.
Mayor Nancy Stevens hopes an autopsy will provide more answers to the boy's death. Donations for the family can be made to the mayor's charity fund and will be forwarded on. The city's free cash total will drop by nearly $1.5 million because of an accounting error. The total, originally $5 million, will now be approximately $3.5 million because a $1.5 million retirement fund payment was made but not properly recorded and taken off the books. This mistake fortunately will not affect taxpayers, but did, however, steam some officials, including Council President Arthur Vigent.
Our job here is to take the information that we get from our department heads that are supposed to be the professionals on this and make decisions based on that information. Our job is not to come in here and analyze everything that comes in to make sure the calculations and the numbers are correct.
In an interview with the mayor a few days later, Nancy Stevens assures residents that yes, a mistake was made, but there is no loss to the city of Marlborough.
It purely is an accounting issue. It's whether it was charged to the FY07 budget or the FY08 budget. I want to assure the residents that, as Councilor Ossing said the other night at the council meeting, this is not costing taxpayers anything. It is money that was there, that was allocated for the specific expense, which is the retirement quarterly payment. It simply was put into a different fiscal year.
Vigent did request that at the next city council meeting, Mayor Nancy Stevens, along with city controller and auditor, come before the council and deliver a more detailed explanation.
Hopefully at the next meeting, we can have these discussions, get the answers, and move forward and put the changes in place that need to be put in place so it doesn't happen again.
Superintendent Barbara McGann announced her resignation at the last school committee meeting from the district's head job. McGann states that she will stay as superintendent for 5 more months, but will leave to pursue other opportunities. Despite disappointment, Mayor Nancy Stevens quotes, "If the person leaves within the first 2 years, it won't cost the city anything." McGann does admit leaving the position is difficult, but knowing her staff will continue to grow leaves her with great satisfaction.
I'm very sad because I love the people here. I love the children. I love my school leaders. But I'm not worried because my school leaders have just done this amazing amount of work in the last 18 months. And by May, June, it will be even more impressive. I mean, they have put together a completely integrated, horizontally and vertically aligned curriculum. They have put in place a marvelous teaching and learning infrastructure with rubrics and an amazing in-depth professional development effort. So this team is going to go on to bigger and better things. I'm very proud of what they've done, and that's not going to stop.
The next scheduled meeting of the committee will be Tuesday, February 12th, at which time members are expected to begin to determine the next step. Options that may be considered include negotiating McGann's immediate departure and naming a replacement right away, or waiting until June before naming a person to fill in. 46-year-old Edward Ablazy of 52 Broad Street was arrested Sunday after police said he broke into the room of his landlord and began to choke him. Ablazy was in the process of being evicted and was arrested in December on property damages. The landlord was taken to UMass Memorial Medical Center with multiple lacerations to his face, ear, neck, and head. Ablazy is currently being held without bail pending a Friday hearing to determine if he is a danger to the public. Local officials are urging residents to take precautionary steps to minimize lead in their water. Local officials learned Tuesday that several samples of water contained a higher concentration of lead than the state allows. The samples were taken to satisfy the Safe Drinking Water Act monitoring requirements.
It would be homes with lead services or homes that have lead solder, and those are houses constructed prior to 1986 that have copper pipes held together with lead solder. As part of the operation from the Massachusetts Water Resources Authority, they have their own corrosion control program that they have instituted, and we have modified our water quality to be very similar to that of the MWRA. In addition to that, we're going to be instituting an additional corrosion control chemical to give us a little bit better level of protection. Residents can use the first draw of water for non-potable purposes. Don't use it for brushing their teeth, food preparation, or to drink. Use it to take a shower, wash dishes, wash laundry. We obviously don't recommend the water going to drain because it just wastes water.
Residents who are concerned about possible lead contamination should have the water tested. A water test typically costs about $20. Mayor Nancy Stevens, along with Bruce Stannis of Allied Waste and Executive Director of Marlborough 2010, John Reardon, acknowledged a 3-year, $5,000 per year commitment. Allied Waste has made this commitment to the Marlborough 2010 organization, and this past Wednesday, the first check was presented.
On behalf of Allied Waste, Stan Walzak, my general manager, and Terry Grady, our municipal services manager, we'd like to present the city with a check for $5,000 to use as it sees fit.
It is really great when we have businesses within the community that are out there not just supporting the community with donations, but effort and time in putting in to make this community what it is.
The presidential elections continue to create huge debates on who will become the nominees for both the Democratic and Republican parties. Wondering how Marlborough is preparing for the Super Day? Well, in case you are, we visited your city clerk, Lisa Thomas, to find out more on what makes Super Tuesday different than other elections.
What makes this different is there are 4 different ballot types. You have the Democratic ballot, the Republican ballot, the Green Rainbow ballot, and the Working Family ballot. When one comes to vote at their respective polling place, we have to match their party designation with the ballot that we give them. There's plenty of information on the City of Marlborough's website so that if one does not know where to go to vote, they certainly can find that information out.
There's no snow predicted in the immediate future in the Metro West, but that doesn't mean the city of Marlborough doesn't have to be prepared. By the third week of 2008, repeated winter storms have driven Marlborough's Department of Public Works to spend over 80% of the snow removal budget allocated for the entire year. As of January 17th, the DPW has spent over $400,000 out of its $500,000 budget. With a good portion of the winter still to come, Mayor Nancy Stevens assures that no matter how much snow comes into town, the city of Marlborough is ready.
This isn't any different than any other year. Yes, we've had a lot of storms. We're obviously going to be further behind than we had hoped with the snow and ice, but this is one of those accounts. It's unpredictable. There's no way to properly forecast for a winter, and I think we saw an article in the paper with other communities that are going through the same thing. So it's purely, it's not an issue. We know that this is going to happen, and we make arrangements to make up the deficit at the end of the year.
St. Mary's Credit Union has authorized roughly $5,000 from their corporate contributions budget for a financial literacy mini-grant program. The program is intended for middle school and high school teachers to develop programs that will aid in helping their students develop financial literacy and finance skills.
Teachers know how to teach better than we do, and we're looking for teachers to come up with creative ways to show students the personal finance skills, financial literacy, show students. It could be anything from simple as teaching kids how to balance a checkbook, how to budget their money. We're finding that the schools today are having less and less funds available to teach these kind of skills, and their priorities with MCAS and making sure that they're achieving their MCAS scores take a precedence. So they don't have the time and the funds necessary to really provide these electives, if you will, to their students. So it's our hope that by giving some money to the schools through these mini grants, they'll at least be able to find the money. Finding the time may still be an issue, but they'll at least be able to find the money to help these kids develop these personal finance skills.
For people, the new year is a time to hit the gym and shed those holiday pounds. For the next month or so, I will be giving you health tips that are easy to undertake and will show some major results fast. This week, drink more water. Of all the nutrients that we need to live and breathe and function healthfully, water is the most essential, and guess what? 75% of people don't drink enough water. Your metabolism functions better when you are fully hydrated. Your digestion is improved when you drink more water. Water fills you up, and your exercises are more efficient when you are fully hydrated. So the next time you reach for a beverage, ask yourself if water would do the trick instead. You'll be surprised at the number of times all you're really trying to do is quench your thirst. Speaking of New Year's resolutions, this year Marlborough residents are being asked to consider a new type of diet, a low-carbon diet. Green Marlborough founder Jennifer Boudry saved $500 when she tried the diet. The program proposes energy-saving ideas on how to reduce your energy consumption in everyday household activities, such as washing the dishes, doing laundry, and taking a shower. Boudry states it's never too late to start making a difference.
Something that we're doing for, the world and, for future generations. And I don't mean that as a cliche. I've heard that myself for years. It's like, we're doing this for our children, our children's children. But one day it really clicked, and you realize that you are leaving a legacy, for future generations, and this is the time to make a difference.
Boudry encourages any interested resident to check out their website at greenmarlborough.org. In addition, please stay tuned to the February edition of the magazine, where we take an in-depth look at how to go green. Just because you haven't seen Gina, your local Buddy Dog Humane Society representative, that doesn't mean we've forgotten about those special animals. Due to floor closures in the winter months, local animal shelters are seeing a spike in abandoned pets. As much as shelters would like to take every single animal that needs a home, that's just not possible. Gina asks that owners call as many shelters as possible to find one that is ready to accept a new animal. If you cannot care for your pet, it is hard work to find them a new home, work that is time well spent. As soon as Marlborough This Week is back on the air, be sure to look out for more animals that may need you. Thank you for joining us for this MTW News Update. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, take care.
following program is provided in part by St. Mary's Credit Union.
Coming up right now on your Marlborough This Week news update. Marlborough firefighters battled a blaze on Wednesday afternoon. We have what sparked the burn. Super Tuesday hit the Bay State. How many voters turned out to the polls and how Marlborough voted is coming up. State Senator Pam Reeser announced that she will not be seeking re-election this fall, what her colleagues are saying. And the city of Marlborough wants you to go red. Stay tuned to find out how. Welcome to this week's MTW News Update. Let's get right to this week's top stories. Marlborough firefighters battled a blaze at 373 Littlefield Lane around 4 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon. The owner of the property, Pradip Dev, states that he does believe the fire started with the family's Christmas tree. Firefighters battled the fire for more than an hour and a half, which burned the walls on 3 sides of the home. According to the Metro West Daily News, the 2,400-square-foot home near the Sudbury town line and not far from the Marlborough Country Club was assessed at $570,000 in 2007. Dev has lived in the house for over 12 years. Newly appointed Ward 1 City Councilor Joe Delano, who knows the family, worked with the mayor to make sure they had a place to stay for the night. No injuries were reported. Less than 2 days after being placed on paid leave from the school's district superintendent head job, McGann has suffered a stroke and is in a Rhode Island hospital. Her sister, Patricia McGann, informed the city, stating that she is in good hands and they are keeping their hopes high. McGann surprised officials by announcing her resignation in late January, only 18 months into a 3-year contract. After stating that she would stay as super until the end of the school year, McGann was placed on paid leave following a letter that was released last Friday blasting school committee chairwoman Katie Roby. Currently, high school principal Mary Carlson is taking over as interim superintendent. State Senator Pam Reeser has announced that she will not be seeking re-election this fall. In an interview with the Metro West Daily News, Pam quotes, "I'm not running again. There's lots of reasons. I'm approaching my 66th birthday, and it's just time to move on." A 3-term senator, Reeser has served as state senator since 1999. She has also worked on Beacon Hill as a state rep from 1991 to 1999.
She made significant contribution to the community, in the legislature, and to the Commonwealth as a whole. And she should be remembered as a person who was soft-spoken, but very eloquent and articulate when she chose issues to surround herself with, especially the environment, especially for her district, especially for people who didn't have loud voices. She was there for those people, and she should be remembered for all those contributions.
She's been in public service for a very long time and has done a great job and done some really fantastic things, and I wish her the best of luck.
Both Stevens and LeDuc are seriously considering the position, but not until they receive approval from the people that mean the most.
I cannot make this decision without the support of my family, and we are contemplating that all, and we're going to spend the next 3 to 4 weeks to make that decision.
I will talk to my family, talk to my children, and talk to the people that I've been close to, have always been my confidants, my advisors, and really have a serious heart-to-heart as to whether this is the right thing for me personally and professionally right now.
Super Tuesday equaled vital votes all across the Bay State. Here's Obama on CBS's The Early Show, early Tuesday morning.
If you had to choose just one state, which one would it be?
Illinois. That's where I live.
The stakes in this election are huge.
And Hillary Clinton also jokes on The Late Show with David Letterman about a certain look she's made famous.
My White House, we will know who wears the pantsuits.
Yeah.
Marlborough voters turned out in record numbers. According to City Clerk Lisa Thomas, 47% of registered voters voiced their choice at the polls.
To our surprise, the turnout was 47%. So we were very happy about that, and I would like to thank my constables, wardens, and clerks, and poll workers. Everybody did a wonderful job.
Hillary Clinton was voted top Democrat candidate, and Mitt Romney took the top spot for the GOP. Despite having won, Romney did announce on Thursday that he is suspending his campaign. Tuesday evening was a busy one for the city clerk's office, but once again, the night went off without a hitch.
And although it was a very, very long day, we were able to reconcile the numbers in a very quick fashion.
Here's a breakdown of Marlborough's election results. Hillary Clinton ended with 3,599 of Marlborough votes, and Mitt Romney ended up with 1,623. Darnell Cobb, the 5-year-old who choked to death on a city school bus last week, was buried on Thursday.
There's times in this city when you see the good in the bad, and tragically we lost this great little boy, but what I have seen this community do in the last week has made me so proud. The people that have come together to help this family, the school community, the police, the fire department, everybody that has come together to help this family. I'm just so proud. It's one of those moments that you say, as mayor of the city, I look around and say I couldn't ask for anything more.
Darnell's mother, Sandra Cobb, states that donations for a memorial can be made out to the Darnell Lamone Cobb Memorial Fund, Bank of America, 190 Boston Post Road, Marlborough, Massachusetts, 01752. Only days after Marlborough police stated that 46-year-old Edward Ablazy of 52 Broad Street took a frying pan to his landlord, he was in Marlborough District Court hearing his sentence. Ablazy faces 3 assault charges and witness intimidation charges. The 52 Broad Street apartment complex has served as a sober house for recovering addicts. Ablazy will be held in jail until his next court date on February 29th. The court indicated that doctors might evaluate Ablazy's mental state. The Operations and Oversight Committee cleared its first hurdle when several councilors backed a plan that some say is a big move in the right direction for city power users. The committee voted unanimously to recommend a change that would give Mayor Nancy Stevens a green light to enter into contracts up to 5 years with electricity suppliers. The current rules allow 6-month-long contracts. Brian Murphy, the president of Colonial Power Group, stated that the change would let his company and the city of Marlborough take on some impressive projects. On Friday, February 1st, newly appointed representative for the American Heart Association, Maura Navin-Webster, joined Mayor Nancy Stevens in acknowledging Wear Red Day in the city of Marlborough. The event, which is sponsored by the American Heart Association, has been selected to urge residents to support research efforts and the fight against heart disease.
I'm asking and urging all women in the city of Marlborough to take charge of your life today. Know your risk for heart disease. Make today the first day of the rest of your life.
The month of February has been designated American Heart Month, so to get educated on the heart health risks facing women, please visit www.goredforwomen.org. It's a new year and it's a new you. Food journaling is something every dieter has heard about, but chances are you've never even tried it. It's a way to hear your body speaking to you. Write down the time you're eating, what you're eating, and how you felt. As you journal, you will notice it's a way for your body to actually speak to you, and trust me, it will tell you exactly what it likes and what it doesn't. Notice the patterns, and you will be on your way to eating better, and better yet, feeling better. Stay tuned next week for yet another New Year, New You tip. Our longtime friend and co-anchor Dan Corcoran is stepping off the anchor desk, but not for long. He may be leaving us, but he's on to bigger and better things in Eugene, Oregon. Yes, that's right, Dan will be heading out west to KZEI-TV to become a reporter and weekend anchor. We caught up with him right before he left to get his final goodbye.
Working for WMCT has been a great opportunity for me. I've learned so much. I've got to meet so many people at the station and in this city. It's a great city to live in and a great city to work in. I'm so excited about it. My new job is exactly what I wanted. I'll be an anchor, I'll be a reporter, I'll get to write, and it's a great opportunity for me. I'll be on the West Coast for at least the next 2 years. Then after that, I plan on making my way back to the East Coast and hopefully get a job on air or behind the scenes back in this neck of the woods after that. So maybe you'll see me again sometime.
We sure will miss Dan, but we all wish him the very best. That's it for this edition of your MTW News Update. We want to thank you for watching us. We'll see you again next week. Take care.
The preceding program was provided in part by St. Mary's Credit Union.